And welcome everyone. We should be live. I'm just gonna give it a minute until I can see that you are indeed here. And yes, I can see the numbers. So welcome everyone. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me properly. So we've got about 10 minutes before to start. If any of you were watching this on replay in the next few days or weeks or years, if you wanted to skip the hellos to go straight into the live walking tour, you could skip the next 10 minutes exactly to jump straight into the tour. If you are watching me live, then we've got 10 minutes to get to know each other. Let us know in the chat where you're tuning from. Hi Michelle. Hi again, Trajan Pisas and everyone that I've just seen in the chat. You can hear me, perfect. That's perfect. So we've got about 10 minutes to go. Hi Nikki, nice to see you here. And welcome Matthew, nice to have you along. If any of you were completely new to me, if you've just clicked on this video by accident or randomly, if you wonder what's happening, we are live from Istanbul. It is nearly 10 p.m. Istanbul time, and we'll have a little walk into the dark streets. Hi Natasha, nice to see you here. Let me give you a glimpse of the view. Bronwyn, Australian, watching you from London. Nice to have you along, Bronwyn. And Ronnie is here. Nice to see you here, Ronnie Lynn. So we've got about 8 minutes to go. Those little golf cars, they are for the posh clients of the Hilton. And Sam is here. Nice to see you here, Sam. So we've got, let me check exactly, 8 minutes to go, yeah. Hi, David. Welcome. Let me see, we can check if I have any little furry friend on this side. They were here earlier, but they did not want to cuddle. Oh, no, they're gone. There were 4 of them. Oh, well, I'm sure we'll see some more in a moment. Oh, I should flip this camera around. I don't want to be advertising for Get You Guide. Well, I wouldn't mind if they sponsored me, but not for free. Hi, Laurie. Welcome. And Roberta. Am I one of the posh guests? I'm afraid not. No Hilton for me today. No, I'm staying in a youth hostel. Nearby, though, it's like 5 minutes walk. But I'm in a dorm with 8 females. It's a bit of a party hostel. I'm probably the oldest one in there. There's actually an age limit. I think it was 42 years old, if I remember right, because they do party quite late at night. Hi, Katie. Nice to have you back. And Linda is here. Nice to see you here, Linda. So yeah, my hostel is 18 euros a night, including breakfast. So quite a little gap between those Hilton boutique hotels behind me. Hi Julie, nice to see you here. So we've got about 6 minutes, I think. 6 minutes to go. You too old? Well, I'll be too old soon myself. Eye down. Yeah, one of my yesterday, one of the young girls, I was like, oh yeah, I knew it was a party hostel because of the age limit. And she was like, no, the age limit, it's because when you get older, you start to snore. was like, I'm pretty sure it's not because of the snoring in the dorm. I'm pretty sure it's because of the heavy music on the upper floor. But it could be both. No, Natasha, I've not been partying with them. They did a pub crawl last night, I think. Well, there were a few pub crawls, but I don't really want to be drinking too much in this country. It's very expensive. I prefer to drink in the UK, thank you. Yeah, it's probably quite difficult to be a party animal in here. You're 39 and bedtime is 10:30, the latest. Well, luckily you're not in Istanbul because you'd have to go to bed during my tour because it's nearly 10 p.m. here. If they're still partying when I go home, I probably will have a drink with them. It's my last night. I'm flying home tomorrow. Let's see. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes. And welcome, Sarah. It's not too cold tonight. It's probably about 10 degrees. And Tariq is here. Welcome, Tariq and the Bears. Nice to see you here. You'll be 39 in December. Well, I'll be 38 soon, in April. And Sunsun is here. Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of time to catch up before the live. And I think a lot of people join because they get the notification, so it's nice to go live a little bit early. Because this way you'd... Oh, is it Katie's birthday? Happy birthday! So yeah, this way people that get the notification, you've got a few minutes to join and you don't end up being late. Not the best background for me because it's white and the chat is white, but I'm standing here because there's a light above me. Let me see how long. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. Let me flip this camera again for a sec so you can see a little bit of the view for those of you that might be bored of my face. I'm glad you decided to spend your birthday with us, Katie. Well, although we're not going to be together for 24 hours. It's only an hour. But nice of you to spend an hour of your birthday with us. And 2 minutes to go. And to anyone that just joined, you're very welcome. We've got about a minute and a half to go. Hi, Rosemary. If any of you were completely new to me, let us know in the chat. It's always great to see a few new names. And of course, if you're watching the replay and if you're wondering, why do I always get the replays? Why do I never get to join the lives? The best way to join me live, it's actually to subscribe to the channel and then to hit the little notification, it's called notify me bell under the subscribe, to get a little notification when I go live, because they're very easy to miss, those lives, and you end up watching the replay in the next day or so. So if you want a notification, that's the best way to do it. Okay, let me see what time it is. 1 minute to go. 1 minute, and it will be 10 p.m. in Istanbul. I think we are 3 hours away from London. At this time of the year, in the summer, it's only 2, because they don't have the equivalent of the British summertime. My hat bothers me this way, but we're gonna get a bit closer to the river, so I don't want it to fly off, so I had to put it reversed. It's quite easy to have, I always have a hat, but it's quite easy here because I can get into the mosques, so I don't have to wear a proper headscarf. A hat is enough. Aishas, nice to see you here. Going well, thank you. Last night. I'm going home tomorrow. 2 p.m. for you. On the East Coast. So it's probably much earlier for the West Coast, like Pisas. People say hello to Tish. I've not seen Tish, but if you are here, hello, hello. 11 a.m. for you, Natasha. Well, good morning. Hope you enjoy your morning coffee or breakfast or tea, whatever you're into. Looking fresh. Yeah, it looks like a beret. It's just my hat that is the other way around to avoid flying off. You rushed your dinner to be there. Well done. You've made it on time. Although you could be having your dinner watching us. We don't mind. Hey, little friend. Did you want to be on camera? Is that why you're coming? Hey, do you want to be a YouTube sensation? No? Yeah. Hello. That one did not want to cuddle earlier. You can see they're quite chubby, the cats here. He's got some food, you see. They take very, very good care of them. They feed them, they give them water. So they're very well treated, although they're stray cats. Turkish people take very good care of animals in general. Even pigeons and birds. At the mosque, they have a little thing to give water to the birds. Cool. I think it's going to be time to go. Let's see. And it is officially time to start. It's actually 2 minutes late. I got distracted by a cat, you see. Right, welcome everyone. If any of you are completely new to me, I'm Natalie. And without further ado, I'm going to flip this camera around and let's go for a little live walk in Istanbul. So this is live, so if any of you have any questions or reactions, feel free to type them down in the chat. Oh, another furry friend here. Hello. And let me tell you a bit more about where we are. We are actually by the entrance to the Topkapi Palace. So that's the Ottoman royal residence, the main place of the royal, the Ottoman court for about 400 centuries, really. This is the tourism police. I'm not going to make any comments right now because they probably can still hear me. But I'll tell you in a moment about what they do or don't do. There we go. So this is the entrance of the palace itself. The palace, of course, it's quite expensive to visit, but you can go in through those gates and see a little bit of the gardens for free. You can see the signature of the Sultan over the gate there. And behind me, that's actually a huge water fountain. That's the Ahmed III water fountain down here. You have good memory of Topkapi? Well, Laurie, I did not go inside because it's about 45 euros now. No, thank you. Apparently, my guide, I took a tour yesterday with a lovely guide called Haktan. He said it used to be about 700 liras until January. So that's, like 20 pounds, that's okay. And they decided to double it and then add a bit more. So now it's 45 euros. Well, to be fair to them, the harem is now part of it, but still, it's a little bit much. The minaret under the scaffolding there, that's actually the back of Hagia Sophia. or Hagia Sophia, as it's said here. Liturgy, I'll comment in a second once they can't hear me anymore. So this is basically the back entrance of Hagia Sophia. That was the soup kitchen entrance. I'm not going to see the front because it's not very lit up at night, so we're actually better off here. You visited in '84. I bet it was much, much cheaper at the time. A lot of the touristy attraction, they've quadrupled in price in the last couple of years. It's getting ridiculous. I didn't actually do any attractions here in Istanbul. I've done some walking tours and I've walked a lot, but I'm not very satisfied with their prices. It's just too much, you know, even for European standards or British standards, it's a lot of money. They probably think that once people are here, they'll pay the price, but I won't. I don't care that much. Anyway, they can't hear me anymore. So yeah, the tourism police. I was a bit surprised to see the tourism police. So I asked my guide yesterday what it was all about. Apparently they're just normal police officers, but they speak a little bit of English. So if anything happens to you, they'll basically take you down to the police station. But yeah, they're not doing much, basically. Anyway, those beautiful buildings on the right inside, those are all Ottoman-style buildings, but they've all been renovated by the Hilton Hotel. So now they're part of the Hilton, lovely boutique hotels. On the wall behind it, that's still the wall of the Topkapi Palace. The palace itself was commissioned by Mehmed II. And he was living in there with a gentleman you might have heard of in some of my tours. You might not remember him, but he lived with a young man called Radu the Handsome. Now, do any of you, let me know in the chat if you remember why we spoke about Radu. I'll give you a clue. We spoke about him in my tours, but not in the UK. He's got, Radu is from Romania, and he's got a very, very infamous brother. Do you know who I'm talking about? It's starting to rain. Hopefully it stays like this. It's just tiny little droplets. So who's Radu's brother? I've given you a big clue with the country. Welcome everyone that just joined. So who do you think Radu's infamous brother might be? I'll give you a clue. It starts with a V. Well, it starts with a V, but you might know him under a name with a D instead. Any guesses? Exactly, Tariq. Radu was the little brother of Vlad the Impaler. So you might remember we spoke about Vlad. Oh, well done, guys. Well done, Cynthia, as well. David as well. Vlad, of course, was he was the son of the king of Wallachia. And Wallachia was pretty much at the border of the Ottoman Empire, you know, protecting somehow Hungary that stood behind. And what happened basically is that Vlad Dracul, Vlad II, so Vlad the Impaler's dad, he had a meeting with the Ottoman Sultan, and he agreed that his two sons would be taken by the Sultan as a way to get a new deal. So he basically kind of agreed to have them kidnapped. So Vlad, age 11, and Radu, about 7, they came to the Ottoman Empire. And Vlad grew to hate the Ottoman. And of course, later on, he very famously impaled them on a stick. If you don't know what impaling means, it's basically they'll insert a stick into your rectum and they'll shove it into you and they'll impale you, but you'd be alive for a while. So it was a horrible, horrible way to go. But his little brother Radu, when he came to the Ottoman Empire, they were, as prisoners, they were fairly well treated, and they were trained on fighting and mathematics and everything. And little Radu actually converted to Islam, and he got very close to the son of the Sultan, Mehmed. Very, very close. According to some historians, maybe a little bit too close. We'll never know, but some believe that the two might have had an affair. Although Mehmet, he had, I think, 8 wives. Maybe not all at the same time, but he had quite a few consorts. So yeah, apparently when he became the Sultan himself, Radu was still very close to him, working as some kind of guard. So he lived here in Topkapi Palace for a while. And this is still the wall of the palace. So behind those gates here, you've got a park that was once a zoo. There's no more animals, but they've kept the some of the birds. So you've got those little green parakeets inside. The same we've got in London. Those little, I'm not gonna go behind the wall because I think the wall could drop my signal, but that's a lovely park. At daytime, I don't think you can access it at very late at night anyway. Yeah, a very intimate relationship. We don't know how intimate, we can only speculate. You find those little food kiosks everywhere in Istanbul with the sweet corn and the warm chestnuts. My hostel, by the way, if you care, it's behind this block there. So it's very, very central. It's quite nice to be very close to the old town and all that, but it's actually a very expensive area to go for food or drinks or anything. So if I came back, I probably wouldn't stay here. I'll probably stay in Shinge or anything else, anywhere else. Anyway, look at the little tower here on the right inside in the walls. That was for the Sultan to take a look outside if there was any ceremony or anything happening on the street. Pauline, nice to have you along. Not too late, don't worry. And so the palace inside, as we mentioned, I've not been inside. I hear it's quite cool. You can see the harem, you can see a lot of the relics. They have, for example, the print of the Prophet Muhammad's foot. They have, there's quite a lot to see, but it's basically more expensive than Buckingham Palace. If you live in the UK, you might know that company Get Here. See the advertising on the tram? It's actually a Turkish company, but we've got it in London as well. It's a delivery company. They were created, at least they came into London through COVID to get anything delivered from any shops. It could be a packet of cigarettes, or it could be anything really, takeaway food or whatever. Talking about cigarettes, people over here, they smoke a lot. Being French, I thought we smoked a lot in France. We do, but people in Turkey smoke twice more than the French. It's actually quite almost like a culture shock to see that many people smoking, especially nowadays, when we obviously fully aware of the cancer risk and all that. Anyway, back to Topkapi. I've not been inside, but you can access the gardens. And one of the cool things to see in the gardens, I'll show you a little image. It is this. This is the execution fountain. Pisas, I think that might be the place you were talking about the other day on Facebook. Anyway, so this was the fountain. See the little block? That's where they'll be beheading people. And you had a fountain to clean off the axes, basically. The executioner here, they were often mute on deaf, which is it's interesting. We didn't have that, as far as I know, in the rest of Europe. In France, the executioner was more of a family business than anything else. You do that from dad to son. Because the family was already shamed anyway, so you just keep it in the family. Here they'll use people that were deaf, because that way let me remove the photo. the people that were condemned to death, they couldn't beg, they couldn't plead for anything because the executioner couldn't hear them anyway. And whatever items of clothing or valuable they had on them, that was for the executioner. I think that was the same everywhere, really. So as you can see, you've got those trams in Istanbul. The transport system is very good. It's a bit messy. The underground is not that easy to maneuver. They've got those little stations. The first, so I got one of those. Oh, I probably have it in my pockets. I've got one of those Istanbul cards, which is probably not needed anyway because you've got those contactless machine everywhere nowadays, and you've got those little refund station. It's a little machine that says refund station. And the first time I took the underground, I saw everyone tapping, so I was like, I want a refund as well. And I asked a lady, I was like, what's that? She said, it's a refund machine. I was like, yeah, but why should I get a refund? And actually, it's not for me, it's only for the residents. So if you pay for, like for example, if you tap and it's a long distance and you only do like a short distance, if you tap the refund machine, you get a bit of a refund. But your card has to be registered, so you have to be a resident anyway. So no refunds for me. Sadly, it's not very expensive anyway. A journey is like 20 lira. It's nothing really. It's probably like under 20p. Well, coming from London, I mean, in London we have the most expensive tube system in the world, so everywhere seems affordable compared to London, really. Let's go down, talking about transport, let's go down towards the train station. The train station here in Istanbul, you might have heard of it because of, not sure how it's pronounced, but Sirkeli or Sirkesi station. That's where, of course, the Orient Express used to arrive. Now, when I said the Orient Express, what do you think about? What comes to mind when I said the Orient Express? Let me know in the chat. Vancouver has the most expensive public transit in Canada. Ooh, interesting. That'll be interesting to see how it compares to London. It's really hard to do the math because, you know, you've got... In London, buses are not too bad. It's really the tube that's very expensive. And although we do have a daily cap, it's still quite high. Exactly. Murder, a movie, Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot. Agatha, exactly. That's Agatha I wanted to tell you about. Judd said Agatha as well. Murder on the Orient Express, exactly. It's funny, no one said spies. It's also quite linked to spies stories. Even Ian Fleming had one of his James Bond novel having, I think there was a spy murder in there. Or, well, there was actually a spy that was pushed out of the windows in the 50s. That's what inspired Ian Fleming. Natasha, yes, the ferry is pretty much the same price as a tram. I think it's 20 liras. So if you want to go down to the Asian side, you can jump on a ferry instead of taking one of those expensive Bosphorus cruises. You can just jump on a ferry. And yeah, same price as a bus or the underground, pretty much. So yeah, let's go down to the station. But yeah, basically, when you think of the Orient Express, I think most people would think about Agatha Christie. And you know what? There was actually a murder on the Orient Express, but I think it was about a year after the book. It was a Romanian lady. She was quite a wealthy lady. Her name was Maria Furkashakiu or something quite Romanian. She was robbed and murdered. She was thrown over the window as well. But I was after the book. Yeah, the shops are open quite late, Roberta. I'm probably going to have to get a dinner after the tour. I'm pretty sure there'll be still some stuff open. As we are here, see on the mural here, excuse my finger, but this is the Maiden's Tower. The tower itself is linked to a few legends. The main legend, it's actually that the Maiden's Tower, so it's in the middle of the Bosphorus, the tower is actually in love with another tower, the Galata Tower. And according to legend, the two towers were writing letters to one another. They could never be together, of course, because one is on the land, was in the sea. And one of the other legends is that the Maiden's Towers was built for a young girl. I think she was a princess. Her dad, basically her dad had seen some kind of a fortune teller or a psychic, and that fortune teller had told him that she was gonna die of a snake bite. So he built the tower to have her at the top of the tower so she wouldn't be confronted with any snakes. And she had her food delivered in baskets. And apparently one day a snake was in the basket. He bit her and she died anyway. That's the nice version of the story. Apparently there's another version of the story. My guide told me yesterday that basically the dad wanted the princess to keep her virginity, and he put her in a tower so no one could touch her, and actually that didn't work because she was shagging all the guards and stuff. So that's the naughty version of the story. There are actually two more legends that I read on the I think it's an official website, the municipality tourism thing. But I don't understand the stories. I think they've been translated with AI, so it doesn't actually make any sense in English. But yeah, that Maiden's Tower is full of little legends. Anyway, we are now arriving at the train station. So this is, of course, the famous station where the Orient Express used to arrive. Well, the original one didn't come all the way to Constantinople as it was known at the time. It actually stopped in Bulgaria and then you'll finish on a boat. So the original one, I think it's 1883, starting from Paris. So of course, when you think of the Orient Express, you think there's a lot of romantic ideas that go with it, and murders and spies. Some people actually had nicknamed it the Spy Express. It's not something that would be affordable for the working classes, though. It was a very expensive ride. To give you an idea, at the time of the opening, it would cost, a ticket was about $2,000 in today's money. So that wasn't something, it was for aristocrats or ambassadors or spies, but not for the normal working class people. And so the last station became, of course, here in Istanbul, or Constantinople when it first opened. So just in case you were not aware, of course, this city has changed names many times. So it used to be Byzantium, then Constantinopolis, and eventually in 1923 it became, of course, Istanbul, because of that man, Atatürk. He is the gentleman that basically created Turkey, after the dissolution of the Ottoman Empire, after the First World War. So you see Atatürk everywhere in the country, on flags, on statues, everywhere. This is the most beautiful part of the station. Let me show you if I can show you a bit of this hall. We also have lockers and everything if you, if you have to check out of your hotel or anything. They've got those very convenient lockers right there. And let's go and say hello to my little friend. There's a lot of cats using the shelters because it's a bit raining. Hello, you. You have about 63 people saying hello. See, they're quite big. They're well fed, those cats. Anyway, let's get back to Agatha Christie. So, we spoke about her in some of my tours, and we spoke about her disappearance. Some of you might remember we spoke about that when we went to Surrey. We actually went to the little beautiful village where her car was found. If you've not seen that video, I'll put the link in the description, if I remember. And so to tell you what happened, I think it's 1926. Agatha is at the beginning of her career. She was famous, but not famous like today. She already had a little girl. She had just found out that her husband was cheating on her. One night, she put her little girl to bed and she disappeared. She vanished for 11 days. The next day, I think it's her brother, received a letter saying that she was going to a spa in Harrogate in Yorkshire. The husband also received another letter, but he burned it, and he allegedly, he said that there was no information in it anyway about her whereabouts. And that was it. We didn't hear anything about her for 11 days. They were searched, people were searching everywhere in Surrey. Thousands of people volunteered to look for Agatha. And eventually she reappeared. 11 days later, she had checked into a hotel under the name Teresa Neal. Neal was actually the last name of her rival, of the lady that her husband was cheating on with. And that was it. She claimed that she suffered from a partial amnesia. She didn't really know what she was up to, or she had been up to for those 11 days. And that was it. Really, we didn't hear much about let me try to cross, it's a tricky one. Because there's no little green man on this one. Kill. And here we go. Should I go? Yes. So yeah, no, there was always a little bit of a mystery. What happened to her? What was it? Just like a promotion thing? Did she just want to get some publicity for her books? Maybe. Let me show you some of the amazing desserts. So they do always look very beautiful, those little treats. Anyway, that was it. We didn't know much more about what happened to her until I've just realized there's a dessert I've not tried. They do a dessert that's made with chicken. It's I don't remember what it's called, but it's a chicken breast dessert. I forgot, I wanted to try. This one is a dessert with cheese. I don't do cheese really, so I've not tried it. Anyway, back to Agatha. She died, I think, 1976, her death. Then there's the Warner Bros. Movie company that wanted to find out what happened to her through those 11 days. And they wanted to do a movie about it. According to some of the sources, apologies, I've not had time to dive very, very deep into that story, but according to one of the sources, there was a note somewhere that she had left saying that the keys to her disappearance was in Istanbul. But I don't know where that information is coming from. But what I do know is that the Warner Bros. Studio, they had a seance with a very famous American psychic called Tamara Rand. And Tamara had a seance in Los Angeles, and she claimed she managed to get in touch with Agatha's spirit. So she spoke to dead Agatha, and Agatha would have told Tamara, the key to my disappearance is in Istanbul. in the Pera Palace Hotel. Now, personally, I think that story might be a hoax because Tamara Rand, I think she was caught as a hoaxer in '81. I think she. I'm pretty sure I had read that she had claimed that she had predicted the assassination attempt on American President Ronald Reagan. And then there was something, so she had published a fake interview that was allegedly on TV months earlier, but was not, or something like that. So I think she had been exposed as a hoax a few years later. But don't quote me on that. I'll need to look a little bit deeper into Tamara. Anyway, so so after Tamara talked to the ghost, allegedly, there's a random team of researchers that came here to Istanbul, and they went to the Pera Palace Hotel, where they found in room 411, so that's where Agatha used to stay, between the floorboards, they found the key. A very big key, a rusty key, like 8 centimeters rusty key. And then, of course, the production company, Warner Bros., wanted it. But the Pera Palace Hotel refused. I mean, they were asking for millions for it. I think 2 million plus the rights to the movie, and I mean, something ridiculous. And eventually, they couldn't agree on a price. So the key is still in a bank that belongs to the Pera Palace Hotel. And nothing was ever done to it. But 6 years later, in room 511, so next door, they found another key. So the mystery is now even more confusing. Some believe that the key is actually the key to a box where a diary would be found, but we don't know where that box is. Some believe it's all rubbish. I personally think it's all rubbish, but mainly because of the Reagan story. Let me see, I'm just gonna cross over the street to see if we can see some of the graves. So there's a little graveyard here. They're very much hidden, those Ottoman graveyards. You can't really access them. And the thing here is that most people are not able to read the graves of their grandparents because of course they changed the alphabet with Atatürk. Atatürk. They swapped the alphabet from Arabic alphabet to the Latin letters. So a lot of people don't know how to read Arabic. Oh look, that's confused me a bit. The taxis here, the yellow taxis, so the official taxis, they work with Uber, which is quite rare. In most cities, Uber is actually a big competitor to the official taxis. Some do and some don't, but that's interesting. Anyway, let me show you this beautiful building. That's the Legacy Hotel. The architect is very much inspired from the Ottoman style, although it's not that old. It's from the beginning of the century, so it's a mix between the Ottoman style and more modern stuff. Let me show you the architect. It's him. He's on the 20 liras note. His name is Kemal Delin. Let me remove him. So yeah, back to Agatha. We'll probably never know what really happened in Istanbul if the secret of her disappearance really is here in the Pera Palace Hotel. But this morning I actually went into the hotel to get a bit of footage for you. I'm quite surprised that they let me in. I just sneaked in as a customer, but honestly, it's the end of my trip. I've got no clean clothing. I probably look and smell like a stinky backpacker, but I managed to sneak in anyway, just to do a quick video, so I'll show you. Before I show you the video, let me show you this building. So this is the first Turkish delight shop around here. All in Turkey, I think, 1772. So quite interesting. Still selling Turkish delights today. You want a coffee? Oh, another thing that made me smile, let me show you here. This is the Bambi buffet. I mean, they obviously have no notion of copyright. They're using literally Bambi's picture. So I don't think this little Bambi is Disney. Well, we know they don't care much about copyright anyway, because you have some fake Gucci, fake Lacoste. I had to let me show you my bag. My little bag broke down 2 days ago. The zip broke, and so basically my bag was fully opened. And I didn't want to buy a bag, but I had to because I thought I'm going to be pickpocket. You know, my wallet was exposed and stuff. So I went to the Grand Bazaar, probably the worst place to buy a bag. I mean, if you don't want to pay crazy prices. And I did not want a fake. I'm not the type of person that cares about brand anyway, but especially not fake. And I found this bag. And the guy, so this is obviously a fake Lacoste. And I said to the guy, do you have anything that is unbranded? I don't want a fake brand. And he said, no, this one is no brand. This is no brand. I was like, yes, mate, it's a French brand. It's Lacoste. And he says, you speak French? Then you've got money. Why are you like this? And eventually I had to buy it, but much less. I think he said 45 euros at first, and I got it for 10. I needed a bag anyway. It stinks. It smells like a petroleum product. Anyway, so yeah, they don't really care about brands or copyright. They'll print a Lacoste on anything or Bambi on anything. Anyway, back to Agatha. Let me show you the video of the inside of the hotel. So this is the Pera Palace Hotel. That's the outside. I managed to get in, so this is the big hall. So that's where Agatha would have come through. And this is the first elevator in the country. 1892, only 3 years after the one on the Eiffel Tower. So that's quite cool. It's wooden. I think it's wooden and iron. Quite cool that they still have it. They also have the first, well, not the first, but the original sedan chairs. You know those chairs? This one. So that's the chairs they used to transport people to the train station for the Orient Express. So they would carry people on those chairs to take them to their trains, which is actually quite a distance. I walked it this morning. It's quite far away. And they also have a fancy French patisserie. I had a picture of the bar as well, but it turned out very blurry. So I think it's Agatha's ghost. She probably doesn't want me to take a photo of the bar she used to frequent. Anyway, so that's the hotel linked to the mystery. This is the new mosque, by the way, this beautiful mosque. If you care about the mystery, I hear that there's a show on Netflix called Midnight at the Pera Palace Hotel. It's a Turkish show. It's very loosely based on the Agatha Christie key mystery. I'm gonna stop talking for a sec because I think I could lose the signal under the gate. Cool. Hopefully I should be back. So a beautiful mosque. I'm gonna turn around so you get a good look, because it's actually well lit at night. It's not the case with all of them. It's a beautiful beautiful mosque. I did not go into Hagia Sophia, but I went into quite a few. So yeah, the show midnight at the Pera Palace Hotel. It's my understanding is that it's the story of a journalist, a modern journalist, that very much cares about that Agatha Christie mystery, and she goes on stays into the hotel to look for the key. She finds the key, and then suddenly she's being brought back in time into the 1920s, the time that the French would have called La Belle Époque. And then there's a murder, and the lady that's being murdered looks very much like her, and she decides to play the role of the murdered lady, and so it's basically back and forth in between the time. So it doesn't have much to do with Agatha Christie, really. But I'll try to watch it anyway, because I don't think I've watched any Turkish shows. And having been in the middle of a movie set yesterday, as you might have witnessed, I'm curious about Turkish TV series anyway. So I'll check that out on Netflix when I go home. I'm just gonna cross over the street to finish on the bridge, so you'll have a little view on the Bosphorus. And that's gonna be great because it's starting to rain quite badly, so well, not too bad, but I don't want to get too wet, so that'll be a perfect time to stop to dodge the rain. Turkish architecture is stunning. Oh yes, there are some beautiful buildings, especially mosques. Well, Istanbul has been destroyed quite a few times. There's been a lot of fires, a lot of earthquake. So we're actually very lucky to still have some amazing buildings from the Ottoman times and even a bit from the Roman times, really. Still here, oh good. So you didn't lose me at all through the bridge, through the gateway. That's perfect. See the tram again, promoting Get Here. Oh, thanks ever so much, Linda. That's greatly appreciated. So that's a little arm of the Bosphorus, just across. The same arm as we were yesterday. Yesterday we were much further towards Balat, but it's the same side of town. So we're still on the European side right now. I probably shouldn't go. No, I shouldn't go. Let's wait. Let's be a good girl. Now let's go. I wonder if gentlemen are still fishing on the bridge. They are every day, at every hour, there are hundreds of men fishing on the bridge. Well, this morning I actually saw two ladies, men and boys. In Antalya, boys were fishing right next to me on the beach, and I mean, it should be illegal to be fishing when people swim, you know. I was actually quite scared because they had those hooks, of course, on their little ropes, and they were literally centimeters away from me. But yeah, even boys love their fishing. You can see a bit of the Galata Tower lit in pink in the distance. I was down there this morning. It's crazy how it's crazy busy by the Galata Tower. And then a few streets away towards the Pera Palace Hotel, it was actually very quiet. There was a beautiful bookshop by the Pera Palace Hotel. I'll show you in a video. I'll do a little video, of course, of my favorite neighborhoods in Istanbul, and I'll show you the library. Thank you, Anne. Thank you so much. If any of you drop me a tip on PayPal or buy me a coffee, I don't see them live, but it's as appreciated. And you see all those fish restaurants under the bridge. So again, where you can buy those amazing fish wraps with mackerel. And I bet some of them are still open. Should we go up the bridge or should... No, let's stay down actually. Let's go and take a look at those restaurants. This way I'll be sheltered. Shh. Because it's probably quite wet on top of the bridge. And then we'll finish under the bridge. Would you eat the fish? Oh yes, Pauline, yeah. And you know what? The one from the the Bosphorus is very clean anyway because of the current, so there's no pollution or hardly any pollution that could stay. See, the fishermen are still here, so they're still fishing, even if it's raining, even if it's cold and late at night, they're still fishing. So yeah, those fish wraps. I had one from a restaurant yesterday that was 150 liras. And I had one from street food today that was 160, so there was actually 10 liras more on the street. But you know what, the one on the street was even nicer. Although the guy was doing it on his little barbecue, on his little boxes, it was even nicer than the one at the restaurant. The restaurant, by the way, he had 2 menus. The stuff that I saw outside were not on the menu, so I was like, I want the other menu. I want the one with the balik dirham at 150, and then he got me the other menu. So sometimes you have to be careful. You see, they're here, those little mackerels for the wrap. Oh, thank you, Pauline. Thank you so much. I wish you could have the smells on YouTube. It smells very fishy. See, they're still fishing. Can you see all the ropes? So those are all the fishermen that are above my heads. We could wait here and see if they catch any fish. Is there a fish there? It's actually a bit dangerous here as well. What if the hooks come towards us? Let's wait for a fish. Natasha, it's not, yes, basically yes. The menu that was inside did not have the cheap item that was the balik durum. I don't know whether the other items were more expensive, but my cheap item was not on it. So that's why I stood up, was like, I'm going, or you show me the other menu, and he did. So I saw the other menu with the balik durum at 150. So yeah. Fish, did you see? So they're fishing for their dinner or their lunch tomorrow, or maybe for the cats. As we saw yesterday, the fisherman was giving quite a few to the cats. You wonder if anyone. Oh, that'll be naughty to come. I don't think I could access them. I couldn't cut them from here. See, he's just dropping his rope now. That's actually quite an interesting view. If you come here for your dinner, you see all the fishes being fished right in front of you. There's one more line coming down right here. Or up. No, it's coming down, I think. Here. I don't know why the fish still bite. They should know that they shouldn't try to eat anything by that bridge. Because every day you have all those fishermen here. Thank you, Sansan. Anyway, guys, I'll leave you here. Let me know in the chat if you have any questions before we go. I might know or I might not know. I probably won't know, but let me know anyway. And if any of you are watching this on replay in the next few days or weeks or whenever it might be, if you have any questions, of course, do ask in the comment. And also, don't give me too much credit for the research, because a lot of the stories I picked up from a tour I did yesterday with a great guide. So if you wanted a guided tour in Istanbul as well, I can give you that contact if you were planning a trip. Would be nice if it's fishing for the cats. Well, I suspect some of them do. I suspect some of them want some type of fishes and they might give the other ones to the cats. Like the guy we saw yesterday. Although we still don't know for sure whether he was an extra in the movie or if he was a real fisherman. He could have been an extra. Anyway, let me show you my face again. Yes, Linda, next week we'll dive back into the story of Annie Chapman, the second Ripper victim. And the week after that, we're going to Kingston upon Thames. So that's somewhere we've never been before. So that should be quite exciting. And we'll have there's a bit of a Christmas market there. So that'll be quite nice to see as well. And after that, in December, we've got to redo the Christmas lights, of course. And I'll take you back to Covent Garden and Carnaby Street as well to see all the lights and to talk about the plague and the ghost and everything there. Cool. Thank you guys for coming today. Have a great evening, a great morning, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. And hopefully I'll see you next week in London. And keep YouTubing. I'll be scheduling a few Christmas tours as well quite soon, so keep checking my channels. Thanks everyone that dropped me a little tip. It's very, very much appreciated. And if you were completely new to me, if you've made it that far into the live or into the video replay, you probably want to subscribe to make sure you don't miss on the fun. You don't miss out on the fun next time. Cool. See you soon, guys. Have a good evening, a good morning, whatever time it is for you. Bye bye.